afternoon, actually, good morning, good afternoon, and good morning to some. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 11 of the Chargers Power Hour. I'm going to call this one, The Chargers Are on the Verge. So let's call that one there. And on that note, JD, you want to hit Peacock's drop, please? To the channel sponsor and the show sponsor, neonpeacockmerch.com. There's a sale going on right now. It's $14.99 tees, site-wide, 35% off till June 30th at 12 p.m. So head on over to neonpeacockmerch.com. As I said, there's custom tees, t-shirts over there, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, drinkware, pillows, framed artwork. If you can't wear it, can't put it on your wall, man, I don't know, but you'll find something over there on neonpeacockmerch.com. And if you need to have something custom made for yourself, just reach out to me and I'll get you into the proper contact to reach over to Peacock. He can get it up for you on the site while the sale is going on. Just head on over to neonpeacockmerch.com. There's Lightning Lad tees over there. There's Los Angeles Chargers Jam t-shirts, which I know Booga Peters over at Bold Splits will be receiving his too soon. So shout out to him and the Bolt Splits Uncuts over there. But no, just head on over to neonpeacockmerch.com. As again, on that note, thank you again, everyone, for joining me for Season 2, Episode 11. This is now for the Chargers Power. But on that note, JD, let's get into this. Well, I'm going to say this. Welcome back to another edition of the Chargers Power, Season 2, Episode 11. My name is Lee Ains. I'm the ears to the street over on the Gen Well and the Heart to Start channel. So that's my dig it up. But I got a good loaded up show for you today. Pause. So I'll break it all down for you and we'll get to it. I'm going to call this the evolution of an elite quarterback. All right. So as I've been mentioning about Justin Herbert and Mike McDaniel, they've been working up. So one of the most fascinating storylines coming out of the Chargers OTAs and minicamps so far has been not just a flashy touchdown, not just a new weapon for Justin Herbert or a blockbuster signing, whatnot. It's Justin Herbert's footwork, his technique, and his timing. It's been being worked on, trying to narrow down that 2.7, bring it down more. Let's think about this for a second. We know Justin Herbert last year really didn't have time to throw the goddamn football last year. He had no tackles. He didn't have an offensive line. This year, tides have turned. He's got his tackles back, and he's got a whole new offensive line in front of him. And we're not just talking about a quarterback who already has thrown for several yards in his career, 25,000 career passing yards, made multiple Pro Bowls, and an established quarterback himself, and is an elite play caller. But yet he's entering year number 7. Yeah, it's crazy. Justin Herbert's year 7. And he's willing to rebuild parts of his game with Mike McDaniel. And that's going to be beautiful. Hey, shout out to the Crooked Commission, the Chicago Club. What's up, my brother? Hey, I'm doing good. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Head on over to the Chicago Clubhouse and check out the Crooked Commission and the Mouth from the Bay. Man, that's all I got to say. Those two are characters. They're one of a kind. The Mouth is one of a kind, but the Crooked Commission, he's got some real shit on over there. So head on over to the Crooked Commission and the Chicago Clubhouse. So as I said, we're talking about everyone says he's not elite, but I hate to say it. This year, Justin, fucking Herbert is going to prove he's elite this year. And you can clip that one. Now, under new offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel, Herbert has been working extensively in OTAs on speeding up his mechanics and getting the football out quicker than before. One of the biggest changes for Herbert is lining up in shotgun with his left foot forward insert on his right pause. Now, to the average fan, that's not a big deal. But to Mike McDaniel and his offense, it's a huge thing. Getting that ball out pause is coming out quick. Justin Herbert can move around, get the ball out, and let's go, get to its playmakers, He's got to speed up this offense, and that's what I'm going to like. It's speeding up the mechanics, getting the football out quicker. It's the small changes that are going to make the bigger results for Justin Herbert and for this offense, I feel. Now, Mike McDaniel said it best, and he's talked about it. Finding the margins for Justin Herbert, those small margins to make him a better player, better thinker, and a better player. So, we're leaving Justin Herbert's now in the minds of that Mike McDaniel brain is going to be a beautiful thing. Come on, these two minds are meshing around, and Jim Harbaugh is loving what he's saying. He loves seeing these two together. He keeps them together as much as possible. That brain's always feeding Justin, so it's going to be good. We're just talking about a player in Justin Herbert who's already reached higher goals. He has higher goals, and we know it's a Super Bowl. It's playoff wins. But Mike McDaniel, I feel, can get Justin Herbert that monkey off his back and to grow as a player and as a quarterback. But the Chargers just don't need Justin Herbert to be good. They need him to be unstoppable in January and beyond, I feel. The regular season numbers are great for Justin Herbert. We know his accomplishments and all that kind of. That's never been the problem. But the talent has been there, but the problem is he hasn't had a healthy offensive line. We finally have that. I know I repeated it week after week, but I think I repeat it so much because I'm excited that we have an offensive line. Knowing what he did last year without an O-line and having 16 different. What's up, King D? Shout out to the King D and the Ram Nation. Hey, King, I got a segment in this episode dedicated to you, my friend. So I try to just make the show about my subscribers and all that stuff and trying to gear it up towards, especially you, King. I got a Rams Chargers segment I did in honor of you, my friend. So shout out to you and thank you for tuning in. But this with Mike McDaniel, with Justin Herbert, could be a special year for him. I really do feel. And I feel with that, he could have some postseason success with Mike McDaniel. He's being put in the right situations, make the right decisions. We know Justin Herbert always making the right decisions. Come on, you got to have a freaking genius like Mike McDaniel here. Take it, full advantage of it. But all these adjustments that Mike McDaniel wants to make with Justin Herbert, he's only trying to help him and trying to better him and better his game. So I am all for it. I know it might be only for a short time with Mike McDaniel, but for me and for as a Chargers fan and for Justin Herbert, learn from it, take it, grow, and then just take advantage of it and just go. Come on. As I said, I want to see him take that next step to that elite status. I'm sick and tired. He's just an average quarterback. He can't win in the playoffs. As I said last week, Peyton Manning was 0-3. Yes, Justin Herbert's 0-3, but I get that monkey off his back. As JD said to me backstage when I was talking about it, a hater over on TikTok from a Broncos fan. Who cares? It's a new year. That's right. It's a new freaking year. That 0-3 is there. Yeah. Let's just make that 0-3 1-3. So that's how I look at it. If you look at it, great players work hard. Pause. Elite players evolve. Justin Herbert is proving once again, not matter how it's successful, but he's still chasing greatness and to better himself. And that should put the entire NFL on notice. Hey, man, Justin Herbert's here this year. Let all the haters be haters. But seriously, he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. Come on, we got the offensive line. We got Joe Altbat. We got Rashawn Slater. We got Biotish. We got all the additions we've made to help them. So let's just use these pieces and let's just prove that, hey, all these people that are saying, oh, the Chargers can be great this year. That's great. You can say that. But I want to say back it up this year and say, yeah, you all said we can be great. Let's be great, not just on paper, but also on the field, and put those results into actions. On that note, JD, I'm going to wrap that segment up. Let's go to segment 2. All right. I know I mentioned last week's show about McConkey pulling his hamstring or straining his hamstring in phase 2 of OTAs. Well, the Chargers are going to take it very slow with McConkey's hamstring. As I said, one of the storylines last week I mentioned was his strained hamstring. Well, the Chargers said during minicamp isn't about McConkey has been seen easing his way back in after tweaking his hamstring during phase 2 of the offseason program, but they're going to take it day by day. They're not going to push him pause. They're going to let things come to it. But they said is going to be ready for when it counts. If it's into training camp, he's going to be ready, but they're just going to take it slow, do all what they have to do, and make sure it doesn't hurt this, because soft tissue injuries can linger on. And we know what Ladd did miss. I think he missed much time. JD, did he miss some time last year? I think he did miss 1 or 2 games. I think I was right on that. Yeah, but I'm just saying these soft tissue injuries can linger. Y'all got one of the toughest divisions. Yo, you ain't lying, Crook. Yeah, Las Vegas. I'm not go. Hey, I'm not. It's a tough division, but you know what? You got to just roll with it. You look at I look at the 2 West divisions. You got the NFC West. That is a nasty division too. JD has a tough division. You got the 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, and all that. That's a tough division. Yeah, but you know what? Hey, it could be a cakewalk division like you're playing over in the AFC East with the Patriots, and they got a cakewalk. They got what? 2 rebuilding teams that can just easy have 4 wins on. I mean, what would I rather have, a competitive division or an easy cupcake schedule? I think I take the competitive, because if I want to be the best, I want to beat good teams. But hey, Commish, you got a good tough division over there with Chicago, Green Bay, Detroit, and all that. So yeah, I hear you there. Yeah. Oh yeah. I knew he missed 1 game here and there, but yeah, thanks for that. Ladd played in 16. Thanks, JD. I appreciate that. Yep. Yeah, but I think this, as I said last week, having the injury now is probably a blessing for Ladd. Not that I want to see him hurt. It's just that gives him the time to get ready for training, further down to training camp, and then for the season. They said he'll be fine for the season, but we know how these injuries can, evolve or linger on. So let's just hope it's not a problem, because as I always say each week, we know the Chargers curse is injuries, and I don't want to see Ladd hurt. I feel in this offense, this is where he can thrive. I think this is where QJ can thrive. This is where Hampton, bomb is going to thrive. I think this whole offense is going to thrive under Mike McDaniel. It's all about staying healthy. That's what I think it's going to be. I mean, there's absolutely no reason to push Ladd right now. One of your most valuable offensive weapons, and the games that matter don't start until September. So we got plenty of time to let him rest, just get things going. I mean, the goal isn't winning minicamp. It's about winning in the season. So let's just not push it. For Lee, you want your team battle tested. No, I feel when you play in the AFC West, you're battle tested every single week. Our schedule is nasty this year. I ain't gonna lie. 3 through 7. You look at our schedule, Crook. Take a look at that shit, man. 3 through 7 is 3 to 10 is weeks 3 to 10 is straight nasty. But man, it's the schedule we're given. I think if we can get through that weeks 3 to 10 with at least 4 wins, I think we're in really good shape. I mean, we have 2 easy games to start off the year against Arizona and the Raiders. That's fine. That's fine. But after that, it gets really tough, man. We're going to see what the Chargers are really made of in that stretch. I mean, it could be great, or it could be an absolute trash. So we're going to see what we're really made of, and we're going to see all my talk is just talk, or is it going to be something? So we're going to see for sure. Yeah, we're going to see how it's. I mean, I just want to have get to the season, man. I mean, we're looking at Las Vegas, man. 57 days away. We're all. I mean, I've already been in fantasy mode already. I've been pulling off a trade yesterday, a big one in Dynasty. So I'm already in that mood. I don't pull off trades, pause much. But, man, I had to go bump yesterday. But on that, I really think the Chargers are going to, with this injury to Ladd, he will be ready. It's just they're going to take it cautiously, the right way, so it doesn't linger down there. But we'll figure that out down the road. But I think this is going to be fine. It's just, as I said, I'm glad it's right now and we'll have to worry about it. I mean, it's Ladd freaking McConkey. This is going to be probably the best offensive weapon for Justin Herbert this year. And I think he's going to have an outstanding year with Mike McDaniels. I think is going to make that Ladd we saw last year, like that rough bad year. Let's get the Ladd rookie year back. He put up the numbers. And I think in this year, if Ladd is healthy, he's going to put up those elite wide receiver numbers. I ain't going to say he's going to be top of the top, but he's going to put up the numbers to be, hey, I'm that number one on this team. I mean, as I said last week, I had the segment between Ladd and QJ. Who's going to be the better wide receiver? I mean, we know what Quentin Johnson has done the last 2 years. We know what Ladd is all about his rookie year. Last year was a rough year, but hey, I think it's a bounce back year for Ladd this year. And he so he's got a lot to prove, but we shall see on that one. I mean, McConkey's got the great speed. I mean, but there's no need to panic right now. But I think a lot of Chargers fans are like, oh no, that's the curse again, injuries. But but we'll worry about that when the time comes. But when the lights are bright, I think that's when Ladd's going to step up. Well, I'm not going to be worrying about it right now. I know I'm talking about it. Yeah, because it's a talking point, because it's an injury that, hey, we may have to, hopefully it doesn't pop up down the road, but it's something that, to talk about. But it's not, it's June. It's not September. So we got a couple more months. But on that note, I'm going to call that one a wrap on that segment. But JD, you want to pull up that segment 3. Okay. The bump. Now I know I've been blabbing about Mike McDaniel. I know I just bragged about Ladd McConkey's going to thrive in this offense. But let me talk about one man whom I think is going to thrive. Just look at Devon A-Chain, what he did with Mike McDaniel. He was a workhorse. What is Omarion Hampton? A workhorse 3-down back. Flip that. And I think it's just going to be Omarion Hampton bump year. So let me call this one the perfect running back for Mike McDaniel's offense. And that's going to be Omarion Hampton. All right. Hold on a second. All right. Thank you. If there's one Chargers player who could be poised for a massive breakout in 2026 and in year 2, it's going to be Omarion bump Hampton. When the Chargers brought in Mike McDaniel to coordinate this offense, one thing that immediately stood out in this system is built to maximize the explosiveness of the running back room. We have Omarion Hampton, Keaton Mitchell, and Kamani Vidal. So that's our room, and it's going to be a nice room because we can rotate players. We've seen in the past with players who thrive with speed, vision, patience, and the ability to make defenders miss in space, and that is Mr. Omarion Hampton. Bomb. We'll be doing that this year. I mean, it sucks that we saw last year a small sample size of what Omarion can do because of the injuries. But he's fully healthy. He's ready to go. But he's also ready to go in this offense. That's exactly where Hampton's skill set comes into play in this Mike McDaniel offense. McDaniel offense is designed to create running lanes through motion, misdirection, outside zones, and getting defenses moving horizontally. And before attacking vertically, Hampton has the burst in those creases to just run. And he's a power runner. That finishes runs, and his athleticism from make a 10-yard gain into a 50-yard house call or a 50-yard touchdown. Either or. I'm just taking either way. I want the points. I want those fantasy points, but I want that W for my Chargers. But this just isn't out running the football either also. One of the most exciting parts about Hampton's development could be his role in the passing game, not just having the rushing, but the receiving. So that's going to help his fantasy value also from the rushing and the receiving. So we've got to get those all-purpose yards on both sides of the ball, rushing and receiving. So McDaniel has constantly found creative ways to get his backs involved, receiver with the and receiving also. So this is going to be the versatility for Hampton this year is going to be very good. We knew last year it was just the rushing, but now add the receiving upside for Hampton. It's going to be a beautiful thing. His ADP probably is going to jump a little when you get closer to the season. So we shall see that. But as I said, Hampton's development could be in the passing game, could be a beautiful thing for this offense. We know we got QJ, we got all the additions, but the more of a Hampton just short burst and then that yards at the catch, it's going to be a wonderful thing. I mean, the Chargers have spent most of the last 2 seasons building that offensive lineup, designed to dominate. We know Harbaugh loves to run the football. Remember when he was hired, JD, Bogey, they all told me that. He wants to build from the trenches. He run the football. And we've seen that's what we built from the trenches. And the run game is good. We've seen how the run game was big last year. Unfortunately, when Hampton got hurt. But now we can add Mikey McD. And I said the Chargers, as I said, we spent the last 2 seasons building the O-line and working on that run game. I mean, with Rashawn Slater, Joel, Tyler Biotish now, and also Cole Strange. I forgot that earlier. I should have mentioned that. That was another addition that we made at fullback. So that's going to be good. And the rookie also, Jake Slaughter, who's going to be playing left tackle, leading the way to the foundation in place for Hampton to thrive in this offense. I mean, I feel we stay healthy on this offensive line. There's really not much stopping this run game for the Chargers this year. I mean, the opportunity's there, the scheme is there, and the talent is definitely there. Now we just got to put it all together. And you look at it. And if I had to put out, I'm going to say, while I'm on this Omarion Hampton, bump, turn, I'll give a fantasy football outlook. You know, I'll just bring out the fantasy aspect to this also. So for me, for fantasy managers having Hampton, like myself, as I said, I made a trade for Omarion Hampton yesterday. It was a trade that I was like, and I'm going to say this, shout out to my boy Bakes, my brother, who's a Raiders fan. And here I am dealing with a Raiders fan, but love you, Bakes. We were at this trade for about, say, 3 months, maybe we were talking about it for about 3 months, but we finally got a deal done yesterday. I gave up. I thought it was a good deal. Yeah, I had to give up a 2027 first-round pick, but you know what? As they say, as JD says in fantasy is a gamble. You never know what's going to happen. I had to take that gamble yesterday, but I did get. Now I have Omarion Hampton. When this deal is pending, the league seems to be hating on me a little bit right now, but hey, I don't know what's going on. Come on, Bogey and Steamboat. We got to push that trade through. Come on. Don't be hating on me, brothers. But no, I'm looking at now I have Omarion Hampton and Gibbs as my running backs, and I'll have Joey Burrow. So my team's looking a little better. It can improve a little more, but we shall see what it do. But as I said, on the Hampton fantasy projected stats, I'll say this. He probably has around 265 carries, about 1,100 rushing yards, 10 to 12 rushing TDs. I'd say he have around 48 receptions for about 420 yards, about 3 receiving touchdowns. So that'll put him in the – hey, shout out to Peacock. Yeah. All right. Hey, Peacock, I'm focused on this show, but, man, yeah. Hey, shout out to neonpeacockmerch.com. That brother over there is grinding. Make sure to check out his channel. He has the H-Town Huddle. And I know, Peacock, you and I will be doing that this year, man. I'm looking forward to it. But as I said, check out neonpeacockmerch.com. Check out these dope-ass pictures, paintings he's working on, not just the T-shirts. This man is a magician with a pen, a marker, or a paintbrush. I can't say some of these paintings that Peacock does are just mind-blowing. But shout out to man Peacock. You are a magician with the paintbrush, the pen, the marker, whatnot. You are a true artist, as Bogey would say. And it's not just as an artist on paint and all that. The man is what he can do with a video blows me away. I just look at what he did for the Power Hour, what he does for the channel. The man and Bogart's music, he just kills it in every aspect of life. The man is just an Einstein or anything that what he does. So shout out to Peacock, man. But as I said, I think Omarion Hampton, if you look at his total projections, around 1,500 yards. That's rushing and receiving. So that would put him around 15 to 16 touchdowns. That's what I feel. But keyword, none of that happens unless the man stays healthy. Hey, shout out Booga Peters and the Bolts Blitz Uncut YouTube channel. Shout out to Booga Peters. And those T-shirts are on your way, brother. I can't wait to see them on. And Peacock, I know Peacock will look forward to seeing those. But, man, you and your son enjoy those things. And I appreciate you, brother. And I appreciate your shows. And I'm going to be looking forward to the next one. Yeah. What's good with you, man? I'm good. Thank you. Just rocking, representing our Chargers, man. But I saw, hey, Booga, as I put on your post this morning, I want to see more vintage LT's highlights and vintage Vincent Jackson highlights. That's what I'd want to see. So those are the two players I put in your post this morning on Facebook. That's what I want to see, more highlights of those two. But if I want to say those are former players, but I want to see some more highlights of Tully and Daylon Henley this year. That's what I'm looking for. That's the guard defense is going to be lit. Taylor and I are live. Yeah, I'll be over there. JD will probably check it out too. But you, man, I'll be over there watching both of you. Hell yeah. But I think this Mike McDaniel offense, Omarion Hampton, Lad McConkey, Quentin John, the whole crew are gonna just be lit this year. It's gonna be fire, this offense. The key word for us Charger fans is staying GD healthy. Can we stay healthy? I think its offense could be a very special offense this year. Let's take full advantage of it, man. I know Booga Peters is looking forward to this one. All us Charger fans are saying, man, I want this season to get here now. I'm excited. I know I got Las Vegas first. I got the draft coming up in Vegas with the guys, the YouTube channel. Come on now. Once that's over with, I got about 20 days. We got about 20 days after that, and the season starts. And, man, I'm pumped. I'm ready. I'm excited. But you know what? As any Chargers fan, this is going to be an exciting year to be a Chargers fan. So, knock on wood. Let's hope it is. But I swear, if we stay injury-free, hey, Mike McDaniel, Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert, and crew, let's take down those steps one by one. Let's get the division. Let's get that monkey off Justin Herbert's back, the 0-3, and let's just take it. And I think we can do well this year. So, I'm not too worried about it. Haters are going to hate anything I say or about the Chargers. I'm not worried about it. I feel we have a good shot this year. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not worried about what other people think. I'm worried about what I think and what I think about the Chargers. But on that note, I think, the Chargers have found their running back, and we don't have to worry about drafting anyone. We got Omarion, bomb, him. Hey, Booga, we appreciate you, man. And I know I've talked to JD and Bogey. We'll figure out when to come on your show, and you're welcome anytime. Because, hey, come week 15, I think I'm gonna need your help. I might call in some backup for that week because I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have not just the fella backstage running the show, and that's a 49er fan. Shout out to JD and the Heart to Start YouTube channel. Love you, brother. But I'm also gonna have the mouth from the Bay, who's a 49er fan, and I'm gonna have Bogart scot-free. So it's gonna be a 3-on-1. So Booga, I may be calling in some ammunition. So week 15. I have you on speed dial, my friend. I'm going to need you because I'm going to have 3 49er fans coming. You ain't lying. Yes, sir. Pause. Yeah, I know. JD, I'm just all around up, man. But on that note, hey, as I said, maybe next week I will bring up when that trade, now that the trade is completed, I will bring it up in my show. Actually, I have it. I'll bring it up at the end of the show also. Yeah, pause. So Segment 4, JD. Let's bring up that shout out to King D. This one is for you, my brother. I saw this and I said, you know what? King D is a Rams fan. We have something to go back and forth on now. Pause. So I'm gonna call this one the chart. Let's see. This one's gonna be called. Here we go. Oh, here we go. This is which backfield rules LA in fantasy football. We got the Los Angeles Rams. They got Kyron Williams, and they have their wonderful Michigan back, their other Blake Corum. So, and then you got for the Chargers, you got Omarion, Hampton, Keaton Mitchell, and you add in Kamani Vidal. Who would you rather have, the Rams backfield or the Chargers backfield? Well, we know you got to look at that. You know, you got the Rams, they got a great line. Chargers, good line. So I'll break it all down. Shout out to you, King D. When I saw this, I made it up. I wanted to get a segment that I can include one of my friends and subscribers in on this one. So I said, okay, so both teams are loaded in the backfield. Pause. The Rams have a proven combination of Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, while the Chargers are rolling with the exciting young duo of Omarion Hampton, Kamani Vidal, and you throw in the addition of Keaton Mitchell. So you can rotate that pause on that one. But the question of football fans, Chargers, Rams fans, and fantasy managers alike are simple. Which duo are you taking? You taking the Ramley or you taking the Bolts? It's simple. It's on my wall. It's on my head. It's on my chest. I'm taking the Chargers all day, every day. I'm putting the fantasy shit aside. I'm always going to love on my Chargers. But that backfield with the Mike McDaniel offense this year, it could be special. Hey, we know what the Rams have. I mean, they have a great duo of Kyron and Blake Corum. But we know the injury history for Kyron Williams too. So just like Amari and Hampton, you got it. It's the running back position. It's not always safe to say. You're going to miss some time at time. But, I mean, Kyron Williams has already established himself as one of the league's most productive running backs in the league. He's reliable. He's a reliable runner. A solid receiver in the passing game. That's one thing he has worked on it and done. I mean, Sean McVay trusts him in every way possible. Blake Corum adds toughness, too. He's a Michigan kid. He's a goal line power back. And depth that gives the Rams one of the most complete backfields in football. And so we'll have to worry about the Rams one time this year. Shout out to King D. But then again, you got the Los Angeles bomb Chargers. They may have one of the higher ceilings of the two. Omarion Hampton appears to be that tailor-made back for the Mike McDaniel offensive system. His combination, his vision, his patience, and the power could make him the centerpiece of an explosive offense led by just I'm that damn good Herbert. Meanwhile, Kamani Vidal provides the versatility, the change of pace, the explosiveness, and the stability to contribute both as a runner and as a receiver. But the Rams have the safer floor. The Chargers may have the bigger upside, I feel. Now, if you look at the fantasy upside for the Chargers and the Rams, I say for me, I was doing this a couple days ago. I was working my shows one after another and start putting them together. I'll say Kyron has the if we're saying all-purpose yards for Kyron Williams, I'm going to say about 1,250 yards for Kyron. I'd say about 48 receptions. I say about 1,250, about 1,150 on the ground for Kyron, 48 receptions, about 1,600 total yards, 13 total TDs. So I'd say he's like a mid to low RB1. Now, let's pull out Blake Corum. I'd say he has about 650 rushing yards, 6 total TDs. He's a valuable handcuff flex option. There's the Rams for you. Let me get to the Chargers fantasy projection. As you know, I mentioned Hampton earlier. I said about 1,600 yards rushing and receiving. So I'm not going to repeat that. Now, as for Vidal, I think he'll have about about 125 carries, about 650 yards. But then again, you got to factor in Keaton Mitchell, and I didn't do that. But so you could basically narrow that numbers down a little bit. I'll say about 32 receptions, about 280 receiving yards. We know Vidal's a great receiver. That we did saw last year. Yeah, but I think he has about maybe 5 to 6 TDs this year. He's a strong flex play with RB2 upside, depending. Well, he was like that last year because he spent a lot of Hampton was out for most of the year, so Vidal was a crucial part to our offense this year. But I'll say the fantasy verdict for me, if you're drafting in 2026 fantasy football, Kyren Williams is probably the safest pick because he already proven and produced at an elite level. But if you're looking for a league winning upside like myself yesterday, and I took that Omarion Hampton deal, give me Omarion Hampton. Mike McDaniel's offense has historically created opportunities for explosive running backs, as I said with A-Chain. And Hampton has all the tools to become one of the fantasy football darlings and biggest breakouts in year 2 this year, I feel, and a breakout year 2 star. So the Rams duo may be the safest choice today, but the Chargers duo might be one of the one you're talking about all season long. So on that note, I'm going to take the Chargers. Sorry, King. I'm going to run with my boys, just as you would run with your crew. But I'm going to take the Chargers in this one. But I wanted to make this for King and also make it as a running back thing, but also add the fantasy take to it also. Because I want to try to each show not just have segments, but I want to bring in the fantasy aspect of the show, and also to it so I can bring in not just I can talk about the segment and talk about the fantasy value to those players. So it gives more of an insight of the segment and a little more fantasy out there. But I'm going to bring in a lot more fantasy thing gradually into the shows. And now some weeks, if there's a low week, like I know like one day in the season, I'll be going on over week 17. I'll be heading over to a Kansas City podcast, but week 6, I'll hop on this show, but the other part of the show, I'm going to make it like that's week 6, make it a third of the way through the fantasy season. Where are we at now? 6 weeks in. So I'm going to make this show, but also half of a fantasy show too. So I'm going to try and make it a lot more interactive, a lot more fun for the viewers and this year. So, but on that note, I'll just cut that. But JD, you want to pull up segment 5? It's going to be Herbert's moment of truth. All right. As I said last week, it's a put up or shut up year. There's so much expectation. Hey, shout out to Derek. Hey, Derek, don't forget. You mentioned that I did bring up the trade. I will bring up the trade and the details at the end of towards the end of the show. Shout out to my boy Derek, diehard Cowboys fan. I know he's getting ready to rock that GP shirt, and I know JD's gonna get a JP picking shirt. So hey, can frame it. But man, shout out to my boy Derek Lincoln. Shout out to Cowboy Nation. I'm right here in DFW, and I hear enough of it. And hey, Derek, I love you, brother. Cowboys or not, man, you're the shit. Everyone on our channel is the shit, but man, I love you. Even though we give each other shit about the Cowboys and all that kind of shit, I think it's fun. GP, are you with me? Yeah, Derek, I know you're excited this year. You have a right to be. That offense is going to click this year pretty good. Man, those fantasy players for the Cowboys, that's going to be a fun year for y'all. Hey, man, all you got to do, just hey, Derek, I got to think. The only man that's playing on a tag right now that is unsigned is your boy GP. Pick up that phone and call Jerry Jones. Let's go, Derek. Come on. Tell him you want to have him signed by Vegas. Because I know you're fucking stressed about that shit. A lot of people are. Get on that phone, Derek. Send it on like Philly. Hey, get the fuck up. Get on that. Show that man. Yeah, he deserves to be signed. He's going to be that's going to cost Mr. Jerry Jones a pretty penny, man. We all love you too, Derek. You're the shit, man. The whole GWN, you guys are the shit. Shout out to Kidda. Shout out to Derek. Shout out to Peacock. Shout out to Kidda. Everyone in the channel. The Crooked Commish. Mouth from the Bay. Y'all are the shit. JD, man. We all have a good time. I'll say one thing. I couldn't ask for a better band of brothers. Y'all just fucking just keep me going every day. If there's a day that I give you hell, we give each other hell, man. But I think it's how we feed off each other. It's something like it's special. But I love it. I love the camaraderie. I love about everyone on our channel, and I appreciate each one and everyone. Yeah, you ain't lying, man. It's a cast of characters, man. And if I have to make a fool of myself, I don't mind doing it, because you know what? It's all in fun, but it's all good. But as I said, to me, it's Justin Herbert here. It's a moment of truth. He's got to put it up. Pause. Sorry, I'm checking back. It's a moment of truth. Justin Herbert has an offensive coordinator. As I said, for years, Chargers fans have debated Justin Herbert's place among the elite NFL best. Is he elite? Is he average? I hear it all the time. He's just average. Who was it? As JD knows, I can't stand FS1 Nick Wright. I'll bring that on next week's show. I don't have the time today. But, man, he put out a little freaking thing, but I'll say it right now. Nick Wright has, listen to this, he has his Kansas City Chiefs going to the playoffs. Okay, speak your shit. I'll talk my shit. He has the Las Vegas Raiders going to the playoffs. That man, I just wanted to barf. I mean, the man, he has so much hatred for the Chargers. He loves his, like, I ain't gonna lower myself to that man's standards, but I could say a lot of things. But I'll keep that for another time. Because Nick Wright, you can go suck it. That's all I'm gonna say. But no, that man's a joke. Ride the pine, because KC is not going to. They go to the playoffs, they'll probably be a wild card team. That's my take. They ain't gonna win the division this year. No soup for you. No. So as I say, many years they felt. Now with Justin Herbert going into his, is he elite or is he average? The talent has been there. It's been questioned, and that's a shame. We know Justin Herbert has elite talent. Arm talent is not even questionable. The leadership is there. But now, heading into the 2026 season, excuses are officially gone. Look at the situation around him. The Chargers have invested heavily, in protecting their franchise quarterback. For the first time in a long time, the Chargers, and as Herbert enters, I'd say, season behind what could be one of the healthiest and the most talented offensive lines he's had in his career, Rashawn Slater, Joe Wald, and then you had Tyler Biadasz and all the rest. Anchor all those tackle spots, while the interior has been upgraded to provide the versatility and the protection for Justin Herbert like we didn't see last year. Then the arrival of the offensive mind, Mike bloody fucking McDaniels, known for creating explosive plays, offensive plays, maximizing a quarterback's efficiency, and generating easy throws through schemes. McDaniel could unlock a version of Justin Herbert we've never seen before. The days of asking Herbert to carry an offense on every snap finally might be over, Charger fans. And let's talk about that backfield also with Omarion, Hampton, and those running backs. I mean, Justin Herbert's not going to have to do it all himself. He has the weapons. He has Hampton, Vidal, Mitchell, Njoku, Quentin Johnson, Lab McConkey. What am I missing? There's really nothing you can't say. You don't have a surrounding cast. He does. For the first time in his career, this is probably going to be the best offense Justin Herbert's been in. So let's maximize that and maximize it with Mike McDaniels. Let's make it all. Put up those W's, put up those wins, put up quality wins. And what was I saying each week, man, those explosive plays for the Chargers, we didn't have those last year. We're going to have those explosive plays this year. You got the weapons, arguably the best collection of skilled players Justin Herbert has had in his career. Lab McConkey continues to emerge as the true number one target. Quentin Johnson's that number two option. He's had that stability of 2 years in a row with 8 touchdowns year out, year out. Yeah, Hampton trade alert. Got you there, dude. But then you also got Trey Harris, who I think last week I said is going to have a breakout year. I think Trey is going to have a good year this year. He may not be having a huge year, but he's going to have a better year this year, I feel. And then you got a Gadsden, who I think he had a breakout year last year, but then we'll run the 12 and 13 personnel with 2 tight ends, so it's going to be good this year. I mean, we're going to have a lot of mismatches, potentially a tight end, and then addition of Alex Ingle gives McDaniel a versatility like a chess piece for this offense and this formation. Everything is in place for the Los Angeles Chargers this year in 2026. Mike McDaniels and all these pieces are in place. An offensive line. Didn't have that last year. The offensive line again. The coaching, the running game, the weapon. Now the question becomes simple. Is this the season Justin Herbert finally takes the Chargers deep pause into January and plants himself also in that MVP conversation this year? Yes, he does. And you can clip that. Justin Herbert will be in the MVP conversation this year. I mark my words. I think he will be. Yes, he got 1 vote last year without an offensive line. Now give him an offensive line and the weapons they've added and all. Come on, I don't see why not. If not, you can hate on my boy all you want. But I'm going to say Justin Herbert right now on June 24th, this coming year, on June 24th today, Justin Herbert this coming season will be in the MVP conversation. And you can clip that. And I'm going to say it right there. As I said, this could be the season. From a fantasy football perspective, Herbert could be one of the biggest values at quarterback in 2026. McDaniel's offense, a realistic projection. I see Herbert between 4,400 and say 40 as a floor, 4,400. As 4,800, I see Herbert around 4,800 yards passing, maybe 32 to 38 touchdowns. A career best completion percentage could be also on the cards too. But the Chargers offense reaches its ceiling. Herbert has a legitimate top 5 fantasy football quarterback upside this year, I feel. The talent has always been there with Justin Herbert. The support system is finally there too for Herbert. Now it's time to put all the talk and be results. No more excuses. This is Justin Herbert's year, Justin Herbert's moment. I feel he can be a top 5 quarterback this year and MVP candidate. I really do. It all is going to revolve around the health of the offensive line and this offense. And I think we can do that. I'm saying it, but I feel we can do this as an offense and as a team this year. As I said, let's just take the AFC West this year from those lonely Denver Broncos. I don't give a shit about rat's butt about Kansas City. Excuse my language. What's good, team leader Tito? What up, my brother? You getting ready to see that Mexico game? Is that today or is that tomorrow? I think it might be today. I'm not too sure. I haven't work on that a bit later on more than that. But as I said, this could be Justin Herbert's year. And as I said, he's got the weapons. And I'll lead that to the next segment. JD, you want to pull up? Is this Justin Herbert's best wide receiver room he's ever had? Possibly. I mean, yeah, we've had Keenan Allen. We had Mike Williams as a come and go. Justin Herbert now has stability in the wide receiver room. You got you got Lab McConkey, Quentin Johnson, Trey Harris, KLS, Brenen Thompson. He has 5 receivers over there now. And you had also Njoku at tight end and Gadsden. He has the weapons. That's what I say. He has the offensive weapons now. But I'll get this. So Jim Harbaugh recently said the Los Angeles Chargers offense has its best yet to come. And that could be every Chargers fan paying attention. Harbaugh isn't known of making bold statements. We know that he really doesn't make those bold statements too much. But when he does, people take notice. As for headlines, When he talks, there's usually a reason behind it. There's a clip on YouTube. I wish I could play it, but unfortunately, due to certain things, we can't. But now let's ask that big question. Is this the best wide receiver room Justin Herbert has had in his Los Angeles Chargers career? I'm going to say best young wide receiving core, because we usually have receivers and then the core mixed in the veterans if it was Keenan Allen or if it was something like that. I do think this is the best room he's had. Let me put at a glance. Some fans will immediately say, because no, there's no Keenan Allen, there's no Mike Williams, or as you have a peak Austin Eckler that was a great receiving running back. But this offense, I feel we're talking about overall depth, versatility, but also the speed. We've had speed on wide receivers, but with Justin Herbert, now he has a lot of speed from Quentin Johnson, Lad McConkey, KLS, Trey Harris, now Brenen Thompson. This is probably the speediest and the fastest wide receiver he's had. Shout out to Marco. Shout out to Marco from the future in Germany. Thank you for tuning in, Marco. Yeah, Tino, I haven't looked at the games, but I don't know, man. I haven't looked at the game. I was watching the games yesterday. I was discouraged what England did with Ghana, tying that game. It broke my heart. I ain't gonna lie. I did so much smack talking yesterday. My team could not back it up, man. It was sad. But hey, England's got that third game to try and get through the next round. But I'm not gonna take the game for granted. We just gotta play a solid 90 minutes of soccer and then focus on that. But I mean, as I said, you don't have Keenan Allen, you don't have Mike Williams, but you start with Lad McConkey, who has quickly become Herbert's most reliable target and one of the best route runners on the roster. But then you have Quentin Johnson. I don't call him Butterfingers anymore. I did in the past. I don't have the right to call Quentin Johnson Butterfingers because he's shown me the past 2 years, hey, man, I'm not dropping the ball. He had 2 drops all last year. That's it. He caught a ball against the Cowboys last year, and I was like, come on, Q, way to go. Man, he's there. So, Tino, England's out, not out. No. We're tied with Ghana right now we're tied with Ghana, but we're ahead. We're ahead on the standings by 1 goal. By 1 goal, that's all it is. So England next game has to win, and when they win, they're in, and they're on to the next round. But I ain't worried about that. But no, man, yesterday was a rough day for me. It was rough. Oh, and I did a lot of talking, and as JD said, no soup for you. That's my words, and that came back to bite me. As pause on that one. But as I said, and then I'll get to Quentin Johnson, a player entering a make-or-break season this year. I mean, we know we gave him $18 million guaranteed on that 5th-year option. He's playing for a contract if it's with the Los Angeles Chargers or with another team. I mean, Quentin Johnson has the physical tools to finally become a consistent playmaker for the Los Angeles Chargers have been waiting for. I mean, we drafted him in round 1 also. Then you add in Trey Harris, a young receiver with size, ball skill, and the ability to win consistent catches. And that's another one player I just mentioned was Mike Williams, was big on those contested catches. I hope Trey Harris can just be that, because we know what Mike Williams could do with that speed and those contested catches. You go up there and get the ball, and catch him. But don't forget the supporting cast besides the wide receivers. Matchup nightmares this offense could create with Gadsden, Charlie Kolar, one of the best blocking tight ends in football, and the dangerous run game with Hampton, Keaton, Mitchell, and Vidal. But the biggest difference for me, for the first time in years, and for having the overall support on the offense for Justin Herbert, supporting cast around him. The offensive line is healthier, finally. The running game looks a lot stronger. The tight end room has more weapons with Mike McDaniel helping shape this offense. I mean, the creativity of Mike McDaniel is going to be a beautiful thing. The schemes, the plays, the outlook with this offense is going to look like it'll be good. You know, the creativity, the explosive opportunity, and the explosive plays we create this year. We haven't seen that in recent seasons. Shout out to Derek. Marco, England isn't England not out. No. We're still there. We're knocking on that door. We just gotta win the next game. Yeah, what did he say? Highly unlikely. How odds are higher than the Browns win the Super Bowl. Oh, Marco, that is crazy, but man, we shall see what happens, man. But as you know, we have the opportunities this year. We have the offense that we haven't had in recent years. Harbaugh has repeatedly emphasized improvements around the offense and the roster building process. So maybe the better question is this Herbert's best wide receiver room? Maybe is this the best offensive environment Justin Herbert has ever played in? Possibly, yes. Because I said, if this offensive line stays healthy, the running game delivers, these young receivers take the next step, the Chargers offense could be a lot scarier than the rest of the NFL realizes. So we shall see what happens. Right now, it's all talk. It's all speculation. It's now to see what these players can do, and we shall see. Now, JD, next segment, please, which will be segment 7. I'm just going to do that rising defensive star, game changer. My man, Tully, who I mentioned a little earlier when Buka Peters was here. I said, hey, I'd like to see more Tully highlights this year, man. That's one person I think is going to have a big year this year. Hey, yo, I'm going to call this one from a rising star to a defensive game changer. And that's going to be Tuli Tuipulotu. When the Chargers selected Tully, they believed they were getting a relentless pass rusher with a high motor and a bright future. We've seen what he's done the past 2 years. Every single year, stats are up. The production is up year in, year out. It's only going up for Tully. The man's about to get paid too. I wouldn't doubt very soon or before the season, we extend him, boss, because he is going to be an anchor for that line. I mean, Tully took a massive leap forward and became one of the most cornerstones of the Chargers defense. Not only did he earn his first Pro Bowl nod selection, but he also led the team in sacks, tackles for loss, and quarterback hits last year, showing he wasn't just making plays, he was constantly disrupting offenses every single week. Let me pull up those numbers for you. He had 49 total tackles last year, 13 sacks, team leader, 3 pass defended, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 20 tackles for loss, which he led the team on, and he had 23 quarterback hits. That led the Chargers team last year. So what makes Tully's season even more impressive this year? Year-to-year growth, as I said. But entering the league, he has improved every single season, from new dimensions of his game to different techniques. I mean, he's more explosive off the edge and more effective at finishing plays in the backfield also. I mean, you got a veteran with him, Khalil Mack, who he's learned from, which I think has been a blessing in disguise for Tully. He's learning from one of the best and a future Hall of Famer. Khalil Mack is helping him set the standard of a young defense, continue to develop around him. Tully is positioning himself to become one of the next great defensive stars for the Los Angeles Chargers. But the biggest question for the Chargers fans heading into 2026 is this. Was 2025 just the beginning? Or is Tully only extending upwards? If Tully continues on this trajectory, we're not just talking about Pro Bowls anymore. We could be talking about all-pro honors, double-digit sacks, year after year, one of the premier edge rushers in the entire NFL. We know the numbers Tully's putting up. It's just now, man. It's gonna, and we don't have Jesse Minter here, but we have Chris O'Leary. But Chris O'Leary, I did see say he has seen nothing but a bright future for Tully. I mean, Chargers fans have been waiting for the next dominant defensive playmaker to emerge. Tully has come now. And then you also add, we do have, shout out to the Heart to Start channel and the Miami Hurricanes lover, JD. We got a keen Messidor too. This linebacker crew is going to be special this year. We got some young cats that are coming. Not just Tully, but you got Messidor. And he is wreaking havoc in OTAs, and I'm excited for that shit. I ain't going to lie. As I said, Chargers fans are excited for this with Tully. But Tully may have officially arrived. I think he already has. The league knows what we have. It's now, I think he's going to really deliver this year. Okay. So the question is, man, will Tully record 15 plus sacks in 2026 or earn his first all-pro selection? I think it's a possibility. He could do both, but we shall see. But as for that segment 7, that's a wrap on that one. Now, JD, I told you about player. Let's pull up that segment 8 picture. All right, there's been a player in OTAs that is starting to turn some heads. Now, I don't know if I'm going to butcher this man's name, but I'm going to make the best of it. Nadame Tucker is turning heads in OTAs. One of the most intriguing names to watch when the Chargers training camp opened, and as an undrafted linebacker and an edge rusher, Nadame Tucker. He's a linebacker, undrafted. While most fans won't be focused on the big names or the high draft picks, well, this one, Tucker could quietly become one of the most best stories of the summer for the Chargers. ESPN recently identified Tucker as the Chargers' under-the-radar rookie. Oh, shout out to Tina. Watch Mike McDaniel's flip Chargers into a top 5 offense and get another coaching. Hey, Tina, that's why I always say I'm just here for the 1 year with Mike McDaniel's. It's going to be a 1-year Charger OC. So I want the Chargers to learn, Justin Herbert to learn all these things from McDaniels, take full advantage of it, because I know he's going to turn this offense into something special. It leads to a freaking football job. I mean, the man deserves it. The man's a wizard at his craft. And I know I'm excited to see what he can do this year, but I know it's not going to last for us. But that's the reality of the coaching business. It's always short-lived. You put up these numbers, pause, you're going to get a job. I mean, it's a matter of time. But ESPN identified Tucker as the Chargers' under-the-radar rookie to monitor during training camp and this preseason. Yeah, is it legit? Yeah. Locker room in Miami bench. Yeah, he lost that locker room yet. I mean, Miami's Miami, man. We'll see what happens here over. For me, when I look at McDaniels and Harbaugh, how are these two going to get along? I think they're going to get along fine, but I'm just more, you're having a head coach come in, former head coach, who's now is the OC. So, it's going to be the interesting dynamics of McDaniel and Harbaugh. Can they make this work for the year? I think they can, but I think if they make it work, this could be something special this year for the Chargers. So let's hope it does. But ESPN, as I said, he came from Western Michigan, where Chris O'Leary came from. So I have a funny feeling this was a Chris O'Leary pick. He earned MAC Defensive Player of the Year honors after leading the FBS with an incredible 21 tackles for loss, while also tying for the National League with 14.5 sacks. That's pretty damn good. And Western Michigan was not a big program. That's a fact. I think it was like a D2 school, not a Division I, but a D2 school. Those numbers don't just happen by accident. Tucker built a reputation as a relentless pass rusher who consistently disrupted opposing offenses and showed elite talent in the backfield and created pressure. Pause. But this is a player you might want to take a look at. I don't know what's going on. I know he's a player that's been standing out as an undrafted free agent. I mean, the Chargers have the talent on the edge room, but it doesn't hurt to have one more as a depth piece. Pause. I mean, it could be definitely competition for a roster spot, a final roster spot. Hey, these unproven players that feel that they have to work for something. Yeah, Harb simply will probably take the defense and let Mike. Yeah, exactly. Another Shanahan hype offense. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to having that. I mean, but it sucks it's only for a year, but you got to take advantage of what you got. Mike McDaniel is going to get a job someplace. Someone's going to get a bright mind and a great coach. Mike McDaniel just happened to I don't know if it was wear out his welcome in Miami. I just think it was just, I don't know. I don't know too much of the dramatics that would happen down there. Maybe he had a fallout with the ownership. I don't know. But, hey, it's our gain for a year. And then whatever he does here, he's probably going to boost his resume to another job. But as I said, training camp's almost here. And Tucker's a name to watch if it's for the Chargers. I mean, will he get a roster spot? That's something I'll keep an eye on. But because the final 50-man roster becomes a valuable depth piece on defense. And we know how the Chargers lose players on the defensive line. So this is something that could be something to watch for the Chargers. I mean, don't be surprised if Tucker is popping up here and there throughout the camp. Because right now he might be the biggest sleeper on the Chargers roster. And if I say a discussion question, can Tucker earn a final edge rusher spot, or do I think the Chargers will look elsewhere for depth for that position? If we have the body in camp and he's proving, hey, turning heads, maybe it might be a good spot. And he knows Chris O'Leary, so to me, I would say why not? If it's a roster spot that we can use, I'd use it on him. All right, JD, you want to pull up the news and the notes picture? Alrighty then. Alrighty, so the Chargers 2026 rookie class is now all signed. Team announced that they reached a deal with Brenen Thompson. So our rookie class is signed. And Omarion Hampton, said this: Mike McDaniel will be super good, in quotes, for the Chargers running backs. And then Mike McDaniel is challenging Justin Herbert in ways that no other offensive coordinator has in his entire career in the NFL. So as I said, Mike McDaniel is going to push Justin Herbert to new levels. But early thoughts on the Chargers kick return battle with names like Darius Davis, Keaton Mitchell, and others in the mix. Rookie wide receiver Brenen Thompson likely is in the mix as well for kickoffs. Now, Jim Harbaugh thinks the Chargers offense, as I said earlier, might be a lot scarier than people realize. He said the best is yet to come. Now, shout out to the 49er gang. Bang, bang, Niner gang. I think I said that wrong. Oh, my bad. Well, the San Francisco 49ers will be joining the Los Angeles Chargers for a 2-day joint practice from 8/18 to 8/20. So now I said I did a dynasty football draft trade. Shout out to Tino. All right. So to my boy Bakes, it was a pleasure doing business with you. It may have taken 3 months, but man, we got to the end. And from what I heard, the trade is finally through. So I received Deshaun hands-on Mr. Watson, Christian Watson from Green Bay, Josh Downs, and I received Omarion Hampton. Now, what I gave up for this, I gave up Jaden Reed. JJ, I'm not that Mr. McCarthy. I Davis from the this is what Bakes gets Isaiah Davis. He gets Arvell Reese. I had 2 first-round picks, and I took Reese this year. Well, fantasy is a gamble. I took that game. But I also gave up a 2027 first-round pick. But we shall see how this will all play out for my team over at the Gen Wealth this year. I do feel I have a decent team this year, better than last year. Shout out to my boy, Derek. He said, hey, that was a good trade for your team. Thank you, Derek. I appreciate you. Last year, I made a few mistakes. Going to be a different league this year. I'm going to really pay attention this year to my trades, pay attention to what's going to be best for my teams this year. I made a lot of stupid decisions last year. Last year was last year, as JD would say. This year is this year. It's a whole new me, whole new fantasy manager this year. So I'm playing this year. I'm here to join that dance. I don't want to be second fiddle. I want to join the dance and join the this year. So it's fun. But JD, you want to pull up that QR code picture for me, please? Alrighty. So if you're rocking with me on X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, just want to truly appreciate the love and the support from each and all. I want the constant love and support. And make sure you go check out these amazing Chargers content creators and the fella backstage who's killing it. I know that. Now, you got Booga Peters Uncut. He's got to have Taylor Bloom there tonight. Taylor Bloom's channel is right there. It's the Electric Edge. You got my boy JD backstage, the Heart to Start YouTube channel. He's pulling out these ill videos, killing it. I love it, man. You're killing it every single week. I got my boy Jay over on TikTok with the Charged Up podcast. Take it. Just scan the QR codes. And then I have a special guest coming this season. We haven't ironed out a date yet, but it's a Chargers fan. Good friend of mine, Joe Madden Sports, over on YouTube, and SIIPN over on YouTube also. I don't have the QR code, but I can get that for the next time. But I want to give a shout out to Joe Madden Sports over on YouTube and all her social media. She's going to come on the Power Hour, probably we're working on the dates and all that kind of stuff. But all that, she's a well-known sports bettor on YouTube. A good friend of mine I've known for about 5 or 6 years now, and a Chargers fan. So I'm looking forward to talking Chargers football with her. Who she's going to pick for the AFC West, I know who she's going to pick, but she'll probably give her betting insights for y'all and any kind of betting insights for the NFL season. So it's going to be fun to have her on the show. I'm looking forward to it, having a friend and a fellow Charger fan who I've followed for a long time, but puts out amazing content for the betting world and for her Chargers. So on that note, head on over to Joe Madden Sports on YouTube and SIIPN. I'll get the YouTube. But shout out to the Heart to Start channel, Booga Peters, and also Taylor Bloom of the Uncut Chargers on the Electric Edge. And to my boy Jay over at Charged Up Podcast over on TikTok. They're putting out great content day in, day out, every single week. So I appreciate each and every one of them, and I appreciate all the support. But I have a lot of guests lined up. So far, right now, I have 7 games on the schedule. I will be going, as I said, week 17. I will be having a Kansas City Chiefs podcast on mine, and I will be heading over there week 6. So we're going back and forth. I'm gonna have Bakes. I'm gonna also have my boy Jay from Charged Up Podcast. He's gonna come on week 2. Week 15 for the San Francisco 49ers, besides JDB backstage, I'm going to have Bogart Scott Free, which is Bogey on our channel, and I'm going to bring on the Mouth from the Bay. Week 9, I'm going to have my boy Miles Peacock from the H-Town Huddle. We'll be doing the H-Town Huddle, and we'll do the Power Hour. I'm looking for it. It was a great time last year when we were in the playoffs. Unfortunately, we lost, but shout out to Peacock's team. But shout out to the H-Town Huddle and to neonpeacockmerch.com. But as I said, I'm looking forward to having all these guests, having fun this year, making it a more interactive show and bringing more fantasy aspects, since this is a fantasy football channel. So I want to bring more of the fantasy aspect, not just to the show, but also to the segments. So I also want to give a shout out to everyone that gave me a wonderful on social media, the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. It was a great day. I thank everyone for the love. I thank everyone on the channel. You guys made my day. It was special. And to someone in this household, you made it just as good also. So thank you for that too. But on that note, thank you for tuning in for season 2, episode 11. And I'll be bringing another good episode 12 next week. But thank you for tuning in to the Chargers Power Hour episode 11. Make sure to head on over to neonpeacockmerch.com. Take full advantage of the $14.99 tees, 35% off site-wide for this. Sale ends June 30th at 12 p.m. So that's neonpeacockmerch.com. So JD, you want to hit that drop for Peacock? All right, Bolt fam, that's a wrap. Tune in next week, and I'll bring another fun episode. JD, thank you. Thank you, everyone that tuned in. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your week. I'll see you soon.
Steppers can't fuck with this. I'm with the big steppers and we stumping shit. Ice grill, you can feel the momentum shift. Alpha and the Omega. I'm the Genesis, real savage, go getter. Yeah, I'm getting it. School of hard knock. I'm the mascot, flipping shit.